all empty. Last time here, getting rid of some of the things, and then ready to go.
I'm going to teach you a really simple trick about human nature. And this can be useful to some of you. So human personalities, human nature, it really comes down to two types. And you can use this concept to explain it. Type A is like this, and type B is like that. Okay. Type A is like condensed. It's like a diamond. Their nature is to go inward, and it's to squeeze. It doesn't matter whatever it is. If you're talking about knowledge, it's going towards introspection. So unless it can do this, it will be counterintuitive and counter nature to this type of person. And then you have this other type, which is type B. And type B's nature tends to go like that. It needs to open, it needs to expand, right? And these people need to release energy. So unless they are able to push outward, right, it's not going to be useful to them. And unless they're able to display, demonstrate, expand into the physical reality, it's not going to be useful. It's going to be counterintuitive and against their nature. They need to be able to reach out, right, to affect, to influence. This one needs to go inward, to a drive for meaning, to crystallize, to take shape. This one is to expand beyond the shape, expand beyond limitations, expand beyond restrictions. This needs restrictions. This needs structure, right? Unless there is a structure, there are no values. Unless there is an expansion, unless there is life, energy, there will be no value for this type of person. And so when you have type A meeting type B, then you have a conflict of wanting the other to work towards their own nature. So this type will want type B to press in and squeeze. But then, of course, since type B's nature is to resist, it will go like, it will bend and it will push back. And as they push back, it will open this guy. And as it opens type A, well, type A is not going to be so happy to kind of suddenly be expanding. It'll be like, what the hell is going on? I need to squeeze back. So as they squeeze back, the other one is like, the one which is like gaining a bit of freedom will go like, ah, and then they'll squeeze again. And then it's like going back and forth like that. And this can pretty much define human interaction, right? Like any types of conflicts, human interactions. One will try to get the other one to do what they're used to. So this one will be like, close, 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 and then it'll go like, ah, and then this one's like, ugh. And then it's like, I don't like that. And it's like, close it. And then it'll be, right? And then it could be like, and then, and then it's like, and then it'll be like, and then it's like, and then it'll be like, and then, you know, it's just like chaos. Sometimes you have people who are like in the gray zone, so they're like in between like that. They're like C-shape, okay? So this like, it's gonna go like that. It's just gonna go like that, very regular. So this is, you know, so it'll be like ups and down, but some are like at the extreme. Some's like really like that, and some's like really like that, right? So then you'll have people who are type A, they'll be like, you're too open, this is not right. And then the other guy's like, you're too close, right? And then the other one is like, and then it's just gonna be war, right? So there's really nothing you can do about that. It's just human nature. So it's just about respecting the nature of the opposition, which could keep things in balance, right? One is thriving for absolute freedom. One is thriving for absolute structure and order, right? So these two extremes should not really be meeting, but being aware of the differences, the opposition, is a necessity for human interaction, to have peace within human interaction. It's just not very easy, you know? Some cultures are more like that. And then if you're born, you know, somewhere in the world where you are sort of like that, then you kind of feel like, okay, well, I need to be more like that. But then when you try, they're like, oh, you're not part of us. So they're like, okay. So then you turn around, and then you turn to the other side, and it's like, hi, can I be part of your tribe too? And they'll be like, you're not really open, so, you know, maybe tribe? And it's like, open, open, open. And then like, this is the max you can go, right? And they're like, nah, boring. And then it's like, goodbye. So then you're like caught in between. And you're just like cruising through life. And you're like, where's my tribe? Where's my tribe? Is this my tribe? No. Is this my tribe? Sorry. So then you're like, where's my tribe? And you go like, one day you go, oh, you're in the middle like me. And then you're like, yeah, are you like in the middle too? Because I'm in the middle my whole life. And be like, heck yeah, I've been trying to find people in the middle. And you know, it's just not easy because there's like somewhere like this and somewhere like that. So then once you find people like that in the middle, it's great because then you feel like you're not an alien. You're pretty much normal. It's just that you're like on the fence all the time, and people, there's not a lot of people chilling on the fence. Usually it's like sort of closer to that or closer to that, right? Obviously it vacillates. Some people can be like this and then open at the same time, but then they'll close in right away after. It's like socially like this and then personally like that, right? But some people are really in between like that. And it's just, it's just like that. So that's like the theory. I think that would be useful for some of you. So that was a little long, but hopefully that was clear enough. Theory of two types of people, A, B, and then how the interactions would always make the other party try to do what's natural for their own type. So this one, we would try to close. This one, we'll try to open that one. Yeah, so human nature, human interaction, and sometimes it just doesn't work out because that's life, and then you have to move on to a new place. It's just what it is, and sometimes it's best to not dig too deep into things that are just meant to happen, and that the best course of action would be to just look forward, move on to the next chapter.